103.5 FM. Ono FM News. Accurate, transparent, undiluted. We go deep. We bring you the news behind the news. Ono FM News. If it's new, then it's news.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the World News at noon at Ono 103.5 FM. I am Timitokwe Dada. In the news this afternoon, court issues arrest warrant against ex-AMCON director Ahmed Lawal. On the African news, Ramaphosa urges G20 to avoid Trump's America-first approach. And on the foreign scene, South Korean president faces calls to resign. While in business, Naira mutes in black markets despite Yoruban issues. And in entertainment, UNAIDS appoints actress Funke Akindele Nigeria Goodwill Ambassador. And in sports, Oluwokere invites 25 for Wafu B Under 17 Girls Cup. Now the news in detail. Justice Mojisola Dada of an Ikeja Special Offences Court has issued a bench warrant against the former managing director of Asset Management Corporation of Nigeria, AMCON, Ahmed Lawal, for failing to appear before the court for the arraignment on a 76 billion naira fraud. Justice Dada gave the order yesterday for the arrest of Ahmed, the second defendant, following his failure to appear in court. The order followed the application by prosecuting counsel Dr. Wahab Shitu for a bench warrant against Ahmed. They were to be arraigned on a 6 counts bordering on making a false statement, fraudulent conversation, abuse of office, stealing and dishonest conversion of property filed against them by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. Also in the news this afternoon, President Tinubu yesterday called for a sustained collaboration and cooperation between Nigeria and South Africa to drive the development and progress of the African continent. He spoke as co-chairman at the 11th session of the Nigerian-South Africa Bi-National Commission. Tinubu emphasized the shared responsibility of the two nations to lead Africa towards a brighter future. Highlighting the long-standing ties between the two countries, he noted that successive governments in Nigeria and South Africa have consistently recognized the importance of their partnership. And on the African news this afternoon, as the world awaits the inauguration of U.S. President Donald Trump, South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa has reiterated the G20's resolution to work together with a new leader. Ramaphosa reassured them about the relevant steps they have taken to caution against Trump's America-first approach in his second administration, which starts on the 20th of January 2025. Trump has given an indication that his foreign policy will be combative. He has planned to impose new tariffs on China, Mexico, and Canada, while he also threatened 100% tariffs against nations in the BRICS bloc of developing nations, which include Brazil, Russia, China, India, South Africa, and others. Trump wrote on his X handle that those countries should expect to wave goodbye to selling into the wonderful U.S. economy if they pursue a policy of looking to move away from the U.S. dollar for international trade. And now moving on to the foreign scene coming from Israel. Israeli quadcopter drones have bombed Gaza's Kamal Hospital, the fifth attack by Israel's military on the medical facility in recent weeks. The news correspondent on the ground reports a surge in Israeli strikes on Gaza City, where the Al-Hali Hospital is struggling to deal with mass casualties. At least 36 Palestinians have been killed and almost 100 wounded in Israeli attacks across Gaza over the most recent 24-hour reporting period. Israeli attacks on southern Lebanon have killed at least 12 people, threatening a ceasefire with Hezbollah that went into effect last week. Also coming from South Korea, lawmakers and members of South Korea's main opposition party gathered in Seoul on Wednesday to call for the resignation of President Yoon Suk-yeol, following a night of political chaos sparked by his televised declaration of martial law. The president said, as he declared martial law, that the measure would be necessary due to the actions of the Democratic Party, a liberal coalition that Yoon accused of controlling parliament, sympathizing with North Korea and paralyzing the government. The declaration included banning political activities, including rallies and protests. Yoon also called for a stop to the dissemination of fake news and the manipulation of public opinion. All press would have been controlled by the state under the declaration. Still on the foreign news this afternoon, a recently discovered Chinese hacking and espionage campaign scooped up data on hundreds of thousands of American mobile phone users, likely stealing information about more than 1 million customers. Sources familiar with the investigation gave newsmen a detailed sense of the vast scope of what U.S. officials are calling a major intelligence gathering operation by China, exploiting weaknesses in the communications network of the nation's top telecommunication companies. In a briefing on Tuesday, FBI and Homeland Security cyber officials said that the Chinese were able to steal a large amount of data, officially acknowledging for the first time that China was able to determine who thousands of mobile phone users were talking to, when they spoke, and when they were communicating from. If you are just joining us, you're listening to the World News at Ono 103.5 FM. Do not forget to follow us on all the social media handles at Ono 103.5 FM Ibadan. Now to the business report. The Nigerian currency was largely muted in the unofficial markets on Wednesday, traded around 1,750 naira per dollar, despite improved fundamentals in the country's foreign exchange markets. The Nigerian naira is still under significant selling pressure in the foreign exchange market, even after a hawkish central bank recently raised interest rates. In the unofficial market, price action shows that short sellers maintain firm control over the 1,725 naira support line. In the entertainment news this afternoon, the joint United Nations program on HIV/AIDS has appointed the renowned actress, movie producer and director Funke Akindele as its new National Goodwill Ambassador for Nigeria. This prestigious nomination acknowledges Funke Akindele's tireless efforts in the fight against HIV and the dedication to advocacy, awareness, and driving progress towards ending AIDS as a public health threat by 2030. With a career spanning over 2 decades, Funke Akindele has leveraged her platform to amplify social impact issues, influence positive change, and champion causes that matter. And finally, in sport news for this afternoon, head coach Bankole Olowokere has called 25 players to the camp of Nigeria's under-17 women national team. Flamingos ahead of the Waffle B Under-17 Girls Cup competition taking place in Ghana between December 12th and 26, 2024. He principally picked from those not only reached the quarterfinals at the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup, but also won the FIFA Fair Play Trophy of the competition. Top of the list is midfielder Shakirat Moshood, who scored 4 goals at the tournament, 4-choice goalkeeper Christina Uzoma, and other amazing charms. That'll be all for now on the World News at noon at 103.5 FM. Before we go, here is a recap of the major stories. On the national news this afternoon, informed you that the court has issued an arrest warrant against the ex-AMCON director Hamed Lawal. On the African news, Ramaphosa has urged G20 to avoid Trump's American forced approach. While on the foreign scene, South Korean president is currently facing calls to resign. In business, despite successful Eurobond issuance in Nigeria, Naira is still muted in the black market. In entertainment, UNAID has appointed popular actress Funke Akindele as Nigeria Goodwill Ambassador. While in sports, Oluwokere has invited 25 for Waffle B Under-17 Girls Cup. For eyewitness reports, news mentions, and news commercials, contact the Honor FM newsroom at 0817-675-5555 or 0913-600-1035. You can also visit our website at www.honorfm1035.net for more information. The World News was compiled by Duni Daudu and edited by Anuoluwapo Idowu. I am Timito Pedada. Thanks for listening.